Action.
Okay, let's take a deep breath. Hi everybody! Happy Great Strides Day! My name is Giaffoglione. I'm the co-founder of a program called CF Yogi that offers free virtual yoga classes to people with CF, their friends and family, and I'm also a CF mom. I have one child with cystic fibrosis with me today.
Hi, I'm Abigail, and I have CF.
Abigail is 7, and her brother Jack, who you'll see a little bit later, is 8 years old. So today, we're so glad you're here because we're going to go on an adventure, a yoga adventure, down the path to a cure. There's no better day than to do that than Great Strides Day, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So if you've never practiced yoga before, don't worry, there's only 2 things you need to know. Number 1, we need to have a safe place to practice. So Abigail and I both have a yoga mat here. Abigail's going to go sit on her yoga mat. Awesome. If you don't have a yoga mat, don't worry. You can pause this video and go get a bath towel or a beach towel. So that's something that will just give you the right amount of space to practice. If you don't have one of those, just make sure you have a safe place to practice. This practice will be mostly low to the ground today, so we just want to make sure our floor is clear. And then number 2, we're going to guide you through some yoga poses today. But remember, we're simply your yoga adventure guides. You are your own best teacher. So if your body is telling you not to do something or that something hurts, go ahead and stop. Sitting and breathing is yoga practice too. All right, we're ready to begin our adventure. So in our adventure today, we're going to travel to 3 different islands where scientists are working hard to find a cure for CF. To get to our islands, we're going to take a hot air balloon. So our very first yoga pose is hot air balloon pose. Let's all find a nice comfortable spot right in the middle of our place to practice yoga, our mat or a towel or a clear space on the floor, and we'll bring our hands to our face. With our hands at our face, let's take a big inhale, and on an exhale, we'll blow out and stretch our arms up, creating a nice hot air balloon. Very good, let's try it again. Inhaling through our nose, exhaling through our mouth, using our imagination to blow up our hot air balloon. And you might even lean back, look up, and marvel at the colors of your hot air balloon. What color is yours, Abigail?
Rainbow!
Rainbow colors. Mine is yellow. Awesome. All right, bringing our fingers to our thumbs, we're going to make goggles and look over the side of our hot air balloon and see what is out there. I see an island, and I hear music coming from that island. Do you hear that music, Abigail? Let's dance. All right, everybody, get off of your mat and dance. Awesome. We have found island number 1 where scientists are celebrating. Let's land our hot air balloon by sitting down on our yoga mat and talk to the scientists about why they're so excited. So on this first island, scientists have made great progress in repairing cystic fibrosis transmembrane conductance regulator protein. Don't worry, you don't have to remember that. We call it the CFTR protein. And when the CFTR protein isn't doing what it was designed to do, we have cystic fibrosis. So let's talk for just a minute about what the scientists tell us on this island. They explain that our body is made up of trillions of cells. And so you can imagine this hula hoop is showing you just one cell in a circle. And the border of that cell is where the cystic fibrosis transmembrane conductance regulator is supposed to sit and serve as a channel that opens and closes to let chloride ions go in and out. And when this channel isn't there, or when it's stuck shut, we have a problem, and we have thick, sticky mucus that gunks up our body and causes the symptoms of cystic fibrosis. So good news, scientists have figured out how to open up this gate if you have that CFTR protein on the wall of the cell, and that lets the chlorine ions go in and out. So let's practice our gate pose. This is our next yoga pose. Coming up this time to the middle of our practice space on our knees. Coming up high on our knees, very good. All the way up, yep, off of our heels. We'll take our right foot and put it out to the side. Very good. You can have that right foot with the toes pointed forward. So you have a nice stable base, very good. Now we'll take our left arm and stretch it up in the air. Now we'll open our gate by leaning over, stretching our fingertips towards our toes. Very good. You might feel a nice stretch along the side of your body. Stop right where it feels good here. We're opening our gate in gate pose. Very good. Coming back up to where we started, up on our knees. Let's practice on the other side to close the gate. Taking our left leg out to our side and our right hand up in the air. Very good. Right, taking our right hand up in the air. We'll close the gate by reaching over with a little creak. Closing that gate. Very good. So coming back down to our nice comfortable seat, we put our hands on our hearts and tell the scientists, namaste.
Namaste.
That means the awesome in me sees the awesome in you. That figured out how to fix CFTR proteins. Yay!
Yeah!
And they say, well, hang on just a minute. This helps about 4% of people with cystic fibrosis, maybe a little more, but we have another way of fixing that CFTR protein because sometimes it doesn't make it to the cell wall. Instead, it gets stuck in the middle. So there's a certain way that this CFTR protein needs to fold in order to swim along to the surface of the cell where it does its job. So our next yoga pose that we're going to practice is a folding pose called eagle arms. Coming back to the center of our yoga mat, let's take our arms out to the side. Very good. Stretch them out to the side. Really long arms. Now we're going to take them in front of us and see if we can make the right arm sit on top of the left arm in a letter X. See that? Very good. Okay. So now with our arms straight out in front of us, making a letter X, we're going to fold our elbows so that the backs of our hands touch. Very good. Now if this feels really comfortable for you, you might even try to fold even more and come around, twizzling your arms into a little bit of a pretzel here and binding your hands together. So whatever level of that stretch, it should be a nice stretch while your upper back feels good for you. Make sure your shoulders aren't creeping up to your ears. Go ahead and take a breath and lift those elbows up, move your hands away from your face, and then we'll unwind and open up our gateway so that the chloride ions can go in and out. Very good. So we folded it one way. Go ahead and shake your arms off. And we'll even things out by trying eagle arms fold on the other side. So taking our arms out wide again, we're going to make that X in front of us with our left arm on top. Very good. Folding our elbows so the backs of our hands touch or twirl around to make that bind, making sure our shoulders don't creep up to our ears. Exhaling and letting them go down, lifting up our elbows, moving our hands out, taking a breath. And then we unravel and open up the gate. Very good. Abigail, were your arms getting tired that time?
Yep.
Yep, that's a really big stretch. So you did a good job of listening to your body. We tell the scientists namaste again because using these two methods, they've been able to come up with a medicine that helps almost 90% of people with cystic fibrosis. But not everybody has enough CFTR proteins to work with. So the scientists tell us that we should visit island number 2 to learn a little bit more about how other scientists are working on making more CFTR proteins. To get over there, we're going to row our boat. All right, this is another yoga pose, a really fun one. So we're going to sit up with our legs out in front of us, and we're going to use our legs as our oars and sing row, row, row your boat while we go to island number 2. All right, here we go. Pick one of your legs as your oars. We'll pick up our foot in our hand, and you can sing along with us. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Let's pause there, stretch out our legs again, and pick up the other oar and keep going. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. And if you see a crocodile, don't forget to scream. Ah! We made it to island number 2. And here we see a whole bunch of assembly lines at work. Well, scientists try a lot of different ways to create more CFTR proteins. So we're going to act like we are a CFTR protein rolling around on an assembly line trying to get off the ground with our rock and roll yoga pose. So there's 3 steps to this one. First, we come up to the front of our yoga space, the front of our mat. Can you go right up to the front there? All the way up to the front. Very good. So we go up to the front and we look behind us to make sure everything's clear because we're going to roll back onto this spot and we don't want to run into anything. So nobody's there, no pets, no people, no things. Awesome. Step number 2, plant our feet and hold on to either the front of our legs or the back of them. Number 3, we're going to tuck our chin and act like we're holding a piece of fruit right here in our chin. And then we're going to rock back and roll up. Very good. Let's try it again. You just need to keep your chin tucked so your head doesn't fly back and hit the floor. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Rocking and rolling. Oh, I love how this feels along my spine while I rock and roll and really get into it. There's no cheating in this one. You can use your hands to help you, whatever feels good. And then we're going to go for the ultimate challenge. We're going to try to rock and roll all the way up to standing to get off the ground. Do you think we can do it?
Yep.
All right, let's try it together. Planting our feet, tucking our chin. Here we go. Rock back and roll all the way up to standing. Very good. Might take you a few tries to get there. Once you do, we'll come up and we'll fold ourselves into eagle arms, crossing one hand over the top or one arm over the top, bending our elbows, bringing the backs of our hands together. And for an extra challenge, you can bend your legs. So bend your knees. And if you're comfortable here, you can stay here. The rest of eagle pose is to take the leg that is closest to your elbow, wrap it over, and come down into a full eagle pose. And then we're gonna unravel up into star pose. Very good. And if you're really feeling some energy here, we can practice some jumping jacks. Like the CFTR protein that's sitting at the wall of the cell and opening and closing the floor. It's got very good. Awesome work. All right, we've helped the scientists make some CFTR protein on island number 2, but now they tell us there's another big island we can go to. So we're going to gene therapy island. And for this one, we need to take a few steps back from the protein that gets created to the DNA that has the instructions or creates the instructions to create the protein. So we've used Kinnex to create a DNA strand here. Jack, do you want to show them?
So these are the genes.
Yeah.
You may have thought these are the genes, but they're not.
Yep. And along those genes, scientists have figured out how to take one out, fix it, and put it back in so that we have the correct instructions for making a CFTR protein, and maybe we won't need the other medicines to fix it once it gets created. All right, thank you so much, Jax. So we're going to come down into bicycle pose. So if you remember, we're backpedaling. So we'll come lay down on our backs, put our feet up in the air, and we're going to be pedaling our feet. So let's protect our core by having our low back flat on the mat. Very good. You can put your hands down on the mat, and we'll pedal our feet in bicycle pose. Very good. So if you remember, I said we need to back pedal to this island. So can we switch our direction and go backwards with our pedaling? Very good. It's a bit of a challenge. It's like brain yoga right now. Well, you figure out how to pedal your feet backwards, and I'll sing a little song while we practice this move. Roly-poly, 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 up, up, up. Roly-poly, 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 down, down, down. Roly-poly, ever so slowly. Oh no, we passed the island. Let's go the right direction again. And roly-poly, 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 quick, quick, quick. We made it. Let's rock and roll all the way up to greet the scientists with a namaste at island number 3. So coming back to seated, we'll place our hands in our hearts. Coming back to seated, we'll place our hands in our heart and tell the scientists namaste on island number 3. The awesome in me sees the awesome in you. And they say, whew, thank goodness. Because we are hard at work here trying to figure out 2 really big challenges to getting our amazing technique of fixing the DNA working in the human body. And challenge number 1 is that we need to figure out how to hit the target. Meaning we need to make sure that this medicine goes to the lungs and only to the lungs. So we're going to practice our archer pose. Go ahead and stretch our legs out long, and we're going to use our legs like a bow and arrow. So let's reach our front arm forward, hook our fingers around that big toe, and pull. Very good. Pull our leg back. You got it, Abigail. Pulling our leg back just like a bow and arrow. Now we're going to reach forward and see if we can grab that other toe, preparing to shoot our arrow on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Pew! Did you hit the target, Abigail?
Yep.
You did. Awesome. Nice work. I missed it. So let's try it again on the other side using the other leg. So we'll reach forward for that other toe, the one that you didn't get last time. Pull it back, sitting up nice and tall. We're then going to reach for our other toe. Very good. And on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. I got it! Nice work.
I
You
got
yours?
Yep.
Nice
Twice.
work. Good job, you guys. All right. So that's challenge number 1, is targeting the right place. Challenge number 2 is that DNA is very fragile and our body wants to attack it because it's a foreign substance and our bodies are really good like that. So we need to safely transport our DNA into the lungs. And to do that, we're going to put it in an armored truck and practice our bumpy truck pose. So now we're going to come sit with our legs out in front of us. Very good. And we're going to put our seatbelt on because we need to be really safe in this truck. So let's turn to one side. Let's take our right hand. Yep, you got it. And reach over our left shoulder and grab our seatbelt. Buckle ourselves in. Very good. Then we'll take our left hand, reach over our right shoulder, put on our seatbelt. Very good. And now the moment Abigail's been waiting for, we're going to grab our giant steering wheel. So we just happen to have these giant steering wheels here, but you can use your hands to imagine you've got a giant steering wheel. And let's point our toes to put our foot on the gas and start our engines. It's a very bumpy armored truck. So we bump up and down as we go along the road, and we come around a turn, so we've got to lean one direction. Very good. And then lean over the other direction as we go around another turn. And here's a big hill. We're going to lean back. Can you lean back without falling over? That's a real big challenge. All right, now we got to go down a hill. Let's stretch forward while we go down the hill. Very good. Oh, here's another hill. We're leaning back. And down another hill. And we finally made it. Pointing our toes, hitting the brakes. We made it. We've got our genes safely delivered to where they need to go to make fully functioning CFTR proteins. Nice work, Abigail. Good driving. Excellent work, everybody. We've arrived at the end of our adventure today. So, while we're at the end of our yoga adventure, scientists are not yet at the end of the path to a cure. Once they find the right route there, once they pave the road, then we can all celebrate because CF will stand. Instead of standing for cystic fibrosis, it will stand for cure found. Come show us, Jack. Awesome! Awesome! Nice work. Thank you so much for joining us today, everybody. Have a wonderful time at Great Strides. Namaste, everybody.